Ottawa's entrepreneurial expo is stepping up its game this year. $150,000 will be on the line at AccelerateOTT's annual Pitchfest in June. We're going to talk to the organizers about what this means for local startups and for the conference itself this week on Techopia Live. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Techopia Live. I'm your host, Craig Lohr, the editor here at Techopia, and we are back in the accelerator space at Bayview Yards, where Invest Ottawa's accelerator companies are surrounding us, working away on their individual businesses. Now, many of them will have an opportunity coming up at AccelerateOTT, Ottawa's annual entrepreneurial conference. So we're going to hear about a big prize up at the Pitchfest this year from Nick Quain, the Vice President of Venture Development here at Invest Ottawa. But before that, I want to introduce you to Susan Richards, also has a role here at Invest Ottawa as the co-chair, but you're also representing Number Crunch, our excellent sponsor for Techopia. Could you please maybe introduce yourself and tell us a bit about Number Crunch?
Sure. So, well, you've done a good job pronouncing my name, Susan Richards, and I'm the co-founder and managing partner of Number Crunch. And what we do at Number Crunch is we provide startups and small, medium-sized businesses with a more powerful and cost-effective alternative to hiring full-time accounting staff. So CFOs, controllers, bookkeepers to help grow and scale with your business. Mm-hmm.
So the whole company has this big expertise in SaaS firms, and we're going to draw on that a little bit later when we start talking about how to pitch a company like that. So,
great.
Before that, Nick Quain, we want to hear a little bit about how this opportunity came up. $150,000 is going to be on the line at the Pitchfest this year, probably the biggest prize amount we've ever seen at an Ottawa conference, an Ottawa Pitchfest. How did this opportunity come up?
Yeah, I mean, I think we had some different ideas around what are some different themes for AccelerateOTT and how to take it to the next level. And there's been a number of really cool pitch events, and there's always a certain energy around pitch events that are fun. So thinking about, after being at a couple over the last year, ruminating with some different stakeholders about the opportunity to do a pitch event that was at a whole other level, that one that could actually represent the start of a significant round of capital versus just a small sort of nice to have. This could be something that's big, that really could turn into a pre-seed or a seed round for a company. So that's where the idea began, and then we basically went from there.
And coming up just this Thursday, we're going to have the first of two pitching events where interested startups who want to compete on the main stage get to pitch in front of a panel to make it to that next round. Susan, I was wondering if we could talk to you a little bit about SaaS firms that might be pitching coming up in the coming weeks. What should they be keeping in mind when they're potentially at this stage going to get a chance at $150,000? What do their pitches really need to focus on?
Well, I think first of all, you want to be yourself. So most of the time when a pitch fest is presented, the stars are the ones that can really authentically prove their value to the audience. So resonating, very comfortable with what your business is doing and where you're going. Markets that are big are important, and knowing your numbers, so knowing where you are today, what your average revenue per account is, where you're going to move it to, how you're going to grab that revenue base, and of course the ever so famous hockey stick chart. Yes, we all roll our eyes, but they are necessary, and understanding what you need to be able to convey behind those numbers should you get challenged in the Q&A section.
And for Nick, we talked a little bit about making it to the next level. That was a phrase you used, talking about AccelerateOTT. But that's something that can relate to the startups here, as well as the level of investment coming into the city. When we talk about a big prize up for grabs, changes and evolution going on at AccelerateOTT, what does this evolution for AccelerateOTT mean for the city, for the conference, for the startups that might be in attendance?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that as soon as you put that type of prize money, it's not, it's an investment from Panache Ventures, so it's not a prize that's just given away, but sure going to feel like a prize, I'm sure, to the company that wins to have Panache as one of their investors. I think that it just took everything to the next level in terms of the types of companies that are looking for that type of money. And that type of capital. They're not just at idea stage, they have very real traction, they're going to have some very real numbers, they're going to have pictures of hockey sticks, and some of those hockey sticks, they're going to be well on their way up it, right? And I think that's the difference. So I think that by having that type of pitch event, we also knew that there would be a lot of companies wanting to apply to be in it, and we thought it would be really interesting to hold some events leading up to it, to sort of a build-up, if you will, to see who will be in the event. And part of it was also, we realized that every time we hold an event of this nature, the VCs, many of the VCs, besides Panache, want to attend it. So, this week we'll have half a dozen VCs at the event because they want to see the deal flow of the top companies in Ottawa. And we'll have it again on May 7th when we hold it at Tech Tuesday, and then we'll have it at a whole other level the June 11th when we hold it at AccelerateOTT.
And it's interesting to rightfully note, it's not just a prize. We look at $150,000 and say, well, that's a lot of money, could do a lot with that money, and that's true. But there's also the recognition, and that was something you Susan, were talking about before we just started, that getting the attraction of one investor can lead to more success in a broader sense, and maybe you can mention that.
Absolutely, so it can really catalyze it. I mean, it's always a good thing to win a pitch fest. That looks good to investors, but to win a pitch fest for $150,000 makes eyebrows go up and people take note, and then they want in. So it really can be a real enabler to a lot more money coming in, even from a lender standpoint too. So that 150 can absolutely expand and be a huge impact for a business at that stage.
And so we've talked a lot about what that can mean, but we're still 2 months out. The early pitches are going to be coming in starting this week, but we are very excited to see who takes the stage and what they say up there, what the final effect is, and then what happens afterwards. We'll see where that money takes the one lucky company that walks away with it. But apart from that, I just want to thank both of you very much for joining us for this chat this afternoon to hear about and tease a little bit about what AccelerateOTT might have in store this year. So thanks to both of you.
Thanks,
Pleasure.
Before I let you guys go, I want to take a quick minute to thank some of our sponsors, without whom Techopia Live would not be possible. I want to start with Pearlie Robertson, Hill & McDougall, a leader in business and tech law. There's TD Bank, offering specialized services for tech firms. There's Stratford Managers, offering services to help you scale up your tech venture. There's the University of Ottawa, Faculty of Engineering, creating the next generation of technical talent. And of course, we had Susan here today from NumberCrunch, offering specialized virtualized CFO services for SaaS firms. Now, Techopia is not just this fantastic show. You can also read our daily articles on obj.ca/Techopia. You can follow us on Facebook and Twitter at techopia.ott. And if you're watching us on YouTube, please leave us a like and a comment and hit the subscribe button if you'd like to see our weekly interviews with Ottawa tech companies and entrepreneurs. We've got more than 130 videos on our playlist, so please go check out some of those interviews if you're curious about what's happening here in Ottawa's entrepreneurial community. Apart from that, I just want to thank you very much for joining us again for Techopia Live, and I hope to see you next week for the next episode. We'll see you then.